I'd like to, let me just begin, if I could, for a second, just to express again how magical and historic last night was. For those of us who were there, it wasn't just the history that was being made, but the whole experience with hundreds of thousands of people and the lighting and the beautiful, wonderful weather was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. It was also, of course, a historic experience. And when I think about President-elect Obama being elected president a little more than 45 years after Dr. King gave his historic speech on the Mall of the Lincoln Memorial with the granite marble statue of Abraham Lincoln sitting in a chair overlooking that scene, for me, it's as if the election of President-elect Obama was, in some respects, the convergence of two historic moments coming together. The realization of Dr. King's dream that we become a country that judges people by the content of their character, as well as the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, that we're a government of, by, and for the people, and that all of us have an equal opportunity to pursue our dreams. And the election of President-elect Obama, in many ways, in the historic sense, very much, I think, speaks to those things and is a realization of those things. I'd also like to share with you a recollection that I have from a novel that was written by an African-American author back in 1940, Richard Wright, who wrote Native Son, and I remember reading that years ago. And there's a part in the book early on where the two young African-American teenagers are walking down the street and having a conversation. The characters were Gus and Bigger, and a plane was flying overhead in the distance, and as that little plane was flying, that light, the glint of the light was coming closer, and Gus looked up and he said, "Them white boys sure can fly those planes." And Bigger looked up and in response to Gus said, "Them white boys get to do everything." And then as they continued the conversation, Bigger, the Bigger character, muttered to himself, "I wish I had that chance, because I could fly that plane." Barack Obama getting elected president is Joe Louis and Jackie Robinson and a heck of a lot more than that when it comes to, again, telling anyone, wherever he or she may come from, that anything is possible in this great country. And if you're willing to dream big dreams and maintain hope and have faith and be willing to work hard and pursue your dreams, you can do whatever you want to do in this country. And so for those of us who are from Illinois and those of us who know President-elect Obama and knew President-elect Obama before he was President-elect, last night and today, of course, is a very special and historic time. As a result of that, there's a good problem that's been created, and that is there'll be a vacant U.S. Senate seat. And the Constitution elaborates that the governor is the person who selects the next United States senator to fill the vacancy that President-elect Obama will soon vacate. I want to point out that I've never had more friends than I do today. And when I make the final decision, I won't have nearly as many as I have now. But we're going to be deliberate and very thoughtful, and we're going to take our time to do it right. I'm going to convene a diverse group of senior staff to begin this process of consulting and talking to different men and women across every part of our state who may have an interest in being a United States Senator. We're also going to seek the chance to talk to several candidates who we think could very well be excellent United States Senators. There is not a constitutional timeline, nor is there a specific requirement to do it within a certain period of time. I'm not going to rush this decision. I will, however, be sensitive and mindful of certain realities. The next United States Senate convenes in early January to organize the Senate. Historical precedents suggest that when President Kennedy was elected in 1960, his successor was appointed a little bit before the first week of January to give the Massachusetts senator a chance to be able to be well positioned for the new Senate. When Walter Mondale was elected Vice President of the United States. The timeline was similar to what they did in Minnesota to fill his vacancy. And so while there is no specific deadline, I would say around New Year's would be about as late as we go, and my hope would be to be able to be in a position to make a final decision and an announcement sometime hopefully before Christmas, but I don't want to overpromise that because there could be some other circumstances and factors that develop. Needless to say, you can't fill a seat until the President-elect decides to vacate that. That's a decision he'll make, but our process will begin immediately. Obviously interested in whatever insights President-elect Obama might have with regard to his thoughts on the subject. That would have obviously a great deal of weight on the decision that I would make. So that's the process. Now, what would I be looking for in a United States Senator? I'd be looking for somebody who shares the values of the President-elect and the values that make us Democrats. The next U.S. Senator from Illinois, whoever he or she may be, wherever he or she may come from in Illinois, it needs to be somebody who believes, as I do, that health care is a fundamental human right, that expanding access to comprehensive health care to all Americans is an absolute necessity to advocate for, push for, prod for, and continue to fight for, that providing health care to children is a moral responsibility, and because we here in Illinois, with the help of then State Senator Barack Obama, were able to be the first state in America to provide comprehensive health care to all of our children through the All Kids program. There are still 9 million American kids in other places around America, and still some left in Illinois, who don't have access to comprehensive health care. And that, in my judgment, is arguably one of the most important criteria that I'll be looking for in the next United States Senator. And I want someone who isn't just going to do the talk, but someone who will do the walk and who will fight to see that this gets done. In addition to expanding health care to working families, which again is something we've been able to do here in Illinois, more than 700,000 men, women, and children have received health care, access to comprehensive health care since we've been in business here. I also obviously join in the support of President-elect Obama's call for an infrastructure bill across the country, a public works program along the lines of what we're trying to do here in Illinois, and that is to create jobs and stimulate our economy by building bridges and roads and building schools and hospitals and putting people to work. Let me also say how much I support President-elect Obama's plan to cut taxes for 95% of middle and working class people. That's a way to help families ease their burdens rather than increase burdens on them. And so I would hope that this process that unfolds will find us a candidate for the United States Senate who shares those priorities of President-elect Obama and me, and I suspect there'll be a lot of those candidates who do support those priorities.